Welcome. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, Paul.
It's afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Paul. It's Saturday. We're filming. Coming to you from Arctic conditions.
Almost. Well, yeah. I suppose summer Arctic conditions, maybe.
Wow, it's bloody cold.
Yeah.
It's bloody cold. Anyway, welcome to the show, which is called
Sunday Chat.
Paul, you've got feel appeal today. We're both wearing our lovely new little snuggly bugglies.
They're very big.
They're oversized snugglers with hoodies. I think they're officially known as oodies or oodies.
But these are cheap ones.
These are cheap ones from
Yeah.
China.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think all Oodies are from China, aren't they?
Well, I'm sorry, but all this, I only wear natural clothes. I only wear wool and cotton. Well, wool and cotton takes forever to dry.
Oh, they do.
I can tell you. These things, you wash them, they dry instantly.
I do prefer cotton, though.
Yeah, but I prefer being warm.
Yes. I had a look at the temperature and it was 10.1 degrees in the house.
In the house. It's 10 degrees in the house.
Yeah.
Outside.
I think it's -1 at the moment outside.
Something like that. Although in the sun it's about 9. It feels like about 9. I saw the temperature gauge earlier in the sun.
Oh, right. Okay. In the sun.
Because it is bright. It's bright and cold.
It is, yeah.
Bright and cold, and we're due snow Sunday, Monday.
Or are we?
Or are we?
Or are we?
You've said that twice.
Did you see that Manchester Airport is closed?
No.
Manchester
They're having
Airport,
snow
yeah.
in the northwest. In the
Yeah.
northwest, where I'm from.
So Manchester Airport has closed because of the snow. I remember I can't remember the year. It must be 2001 flying, or 2002 flying to Minneapolis. And there was just snow everywhere. It was like the middle of February and there was snow everywhere. And the plane came down and landed. And it was sort of like, this wouldn't happen in London. It just wouldn't.
The thing is, our infrastructure, and I know plenty of people around the world have far colder conditions than we do. But because our cold snaps aren't usually that long, the infrastructure, they don't spend the money on the infrastructure. Basically, main roads are gritted.
Yeah.
Main arteries, if you like, are gritted. But the roads around here aren't. Side roads, small roads, are not gritted or salted.
No, they were in 2009, 2010 when we had that long spell.
They weren't at first.
No, they weren't. But once it had got into the long spell, they were. But generally, they're not.
No.
And I noticed that your area outside your work, that's all been salted.
They do grit our driveway and our paths because we're a disability team. There are people with disabilities coming on site, very often walking to appointments, so we can't have people with disabilities slipping up on site.
No.
It doesn't matter if they're on the rest of the roads.
What do you mean it doesn't matter?
Well, the council doesn't care if people slip and fall on the ordinary areas.
Yeah, and there's a lot of leaves out there as well at the moment, so they're nice and slippery. Once it thaws, they go nice and slippery, so yeah.
Yes, it's just a hazard. Going out is a death trap.
Which is why we stay in.
Yeah, all snuggly and warm. We maybe should get one big one and both sit underneath it.
Oh, yeah, that would be, yeah.
So it's not going to be...
I'm not going to go where I was going with that, no.
Don't.
No.
Tell me later.
Maybe.
Save the pleasure. Save the pleasure for private times.
Oh, dear. Oh, I've got terrible thing in my head now.
Yeah,
butterflies and
bananas,
cats and little kittens
fluffy
and puppies.
kittens.
Yeah, all that's lovely.
Anyway, let's get on with the show. It's not going to be a long one today because we've got shit to do.
As the actress said to the bishop.
But it's been a busy morning so far. I mean, if I were to list the things
Go on,
that
list
I've
the
done,
things.
don't twist my
You
arm.
made
Paul.
porridge.
So I got up, I fed the birds and the squirrels, like Mary Poppins. Not Mary Poppins, like Snow White.
No, you mean
Singing to them.
Oh, were you singing to them? I thought you were using expletives.
No, I chased the cat off.
Oh, you did, yes.
I didn't
I was
use
nice and snug in the snug, and then Richard came in and opened the doors wide and clapped at the cat.
I did
so that
because it was
nice
about
and
to kill
cold.
my robin.
Oh, poor Robin.
Exactly. So anyway, fed the birds.
You could have done that out the window in the kitchen. You could have shouted him. Fed the birds.
I just swore under my breath then.
Clapped at the cats.
Made porridge.
Did the bed.
Changed the bedding.
Watched some reels.
Fluffed up. No, I fluffed up everything as well. Shake your duvets. Shake your duvets because it makes them warmer.
Well, it gets the air in to
Yeah.
the fibres, doesn't it? So when you get underneath, there's more air to warm up and it keeps you warmer.
Vacuum 2 flights of stairs.
Yeah.
Put 2 washes on.
Yeah.
Put a loaf of bread on.
Yeah.
Because we're taking it over to our friends this evening for dinner. We're making dinner and taking it over to her. So fresh bread and a lovely soupy stew.
Yeah.
What else have I done? Wiped all the windows down from the condensation.
Yeah, because there was a lot this morning. Even though we
Yeah.
have our windows open at night, there was still a lot of condensation, wasn't there?
Put washing away. Tidied the dressing room. Yes, I've done a lot. It's been a busy morning. And it's now gone midday and...
I don't know where the last hour has gone.
No, I know
Literally.
where your last hour has gone, Paul.
Where?
It's been spent looking at your phone.
No, I put those soya beans on to cook, and I've made a coffee,
Oh,
and I've
coffee.
looked at my phone. I have actually looked at my phone because there's been an explosion in Jersey, which is really awful.
There has been.
So
That's
thinking about
the Channel Islands.
yeah, thinking about my fellow Channel Islanders. Channel Islanders.
You didn't say that. It came out wrong.
Channel Islanders. Because that's not good.
No, it's not good.
Yeah.
Some kind of explosion and
so
I don't think it's a terrorist related thing.
No,
I think it's probably a gas explosion.
Yeah,
or
so
something awful.
yeah. Yeah, I hope everybody involved in that. It looks as though there are fatalities.
Yeah.
So oh dear, don't want that.
Yeah.
Anyway,
let's
puppies,
lift the mood back
kittens,
up.
all of that again. Yeah.
So the week has been work.
Odd.
Why has it been odd?
It's been a really odd week. I find it's you going. Yeah, I said this last week. It just feels odd at the moment.
What, with me full-time work, you mean?
Yeah.
Well, I've got to do it. I need the money.
Absolutely.
And it's been okay. It's not been terribly busy. We're in that period of time where things start to quieten down for the Christmas period. That's how our business tends to go. It has a flurry of busyness just before Christmas. There are certain sections of our business that are busy, but certain sections that are quiet. So, I mean, it's just been a working week. It gets to the weekend, you've got to cram everything in like everybody else, you know. So I like to spend Saturday morning just getting a few jobs done, getting a bit of cleaning done, getting things straight in the house. That's it. I mean, the week hasn't had any highlights, although the highlights for me have been the beautiful skies.
Yeah.
In the evenings and the mornings. I love winter skies, that greyness that you get, but then very often along the horizon you'll get this strip of pink and orange that is a cold pink and orange. And then of course you get those snowy skies where it looks like it's going to snow but doesn't quite, with that sort of yellowy glow to it. Yeah, I love the skies. I haven't taken as many pictures as I normally do because I've just not really had chance. I'm at work when the sun goes down. Managed to grab one the other night as I was going up to the office to do some printing.
That was across the allotment, wasn't it?
Across the allotments. You can see those kind of photos if you like that stuff on our Facebook group, Planet Vegetaria, and occasionally Richard and Paul on Facebook, and also Instagram.
And the when you have been at work, that sunlight, because we've had a lot of sun, it's sunny at the moment, the sunlight's just been glorious, absolutely lovely. And you know, things have been sparkling because, you know, ice has been sparkling and wetness has been sparkling. The skies have been fantastic. But what struck me the other day was coming up the road and seeing the sun before it goes down. I couldn't think of what it is. What's it called? Sunset. Yeah, hitting the houses on our road, because most of them are brick, and there's that sort of that golden brick, and the golden sunshine, the golden brick, it just looks spectacular.
I think they call it red brick.
I think there's a lot of
red brick.
Well, there's a lot of golden brick around here.
It's red.
It's that different. It's the more expensive brick than the red brick around here.
Red.
I think you get 50p a brick rather than 15p a brick.
Yeah, let's move on.
That.
God,
yeah.
Honestly. So,
they're the ones that I took down to the plot like a year ago, something like that.
What? The bricks?
The bricks.
Oh, right.
Yeah. So yeah, it's just been an odd week, and
you've talked about lack of focus to me, Paul, and not getting on with your writing. Very naughty, Paul.
Yeah, that's just about what I was going to go into then before you rudely interrupted me.
Keep the kettle boiling.
So yeah, it's just been a lack of focus week for me. I've done the things that I've had to do for Vanessa, and another client has contacted me about doing some advertising for her ballets.
Oh, that's good.
So I've done the work that needed to be done. There's been various things for her sake, I've had to get ahead with, because Christmas and New Year is coming up. So of course we're looking into next year already. And I just haven't been able to get my head into gear to do the writing that I normally do. And it's interesting because you know, I don't think it's writer's block or anything like that. I think my head is all over the place with a number of things at the moment, and it's just not allowing me to think about the sort of creative side of things that I need to think about. So I need to see how I address that, and I think that might be doing what I've said I'm going to be doing for weeks, which is getting out for a walk every day. And, you know, even if it just be half an hour, and not necessarily to the plot, but just a bit up the canal and a bit back to clear my head and have those moments of thinking. Because when I'm walking on my own, that really does help me think about things. I mean, even when we go and walk in the forests, in the Chilterns and things like that, we will spend a lot of time walking separately. You know, we'll be walking in the same direction, obviously, but I might go ahead, or I might lag behind, you're taking a photo. And those moments of sort of separateness, I think do help. And of course, with you being at work 5 days a week at the moment, there's quite a lot of separateness, but it's not necessarily the right space for me to think. So yeah, I need to be Yeah, I do need, because I need, you know, writing is hopefully going to be an income source. So I do need to find that space to have that time to mull and create. So yeah.
Well, I'm glad you enjoyed your therapy session.
I'm going to shut up now.
No, it's fine, Paul, I don't mind. So what else has been happening this week? Let's have a look at the book. Paul, are you drinking your coffee?
I am. It's down on the floor.
Don't let it go cold, because it only takes a few moments and it's freezing cold.
We have an insulated stainless steel teapot. It's actually a coffee pot, but we make our tea in it. And we usually leave the top off to let it stew, and then we use a spoon to just crush the tea bags a bit so that it gets nice and yummy, and then put the lid on. But if you do that for more than 5 minutes now,
Goes cold.
it just goes cold. And then you have to pop it in the microwave to warm it up. So, yeah.
False economy.
False economy. And I said to you the other day, didn't I? I mean, when Mum used to do waitressing for the big hotels in Guernsey and big banqueting suites, all of the plates and the bowls, they were all, well, not for dessert, but they were all warmed up. There was warming ovens where plates would, and we'd have to go in and take the plates out, take them out so that all the plates are nice and warm. And in our crockery cupboard at the moment, I said to you the other day, the plates are just so cold. You know, you take them out.
Everything in the house is cold.
Yeah.
Everything you touch, especially if it's metal, is cold.
Yeah. And
that's how it was when we were kids.
Oh, I know. Yeah, I mean, it was. I just didn't expect to be in my mid-50s going on to 60s and be in the situation that I was when I was 5, you know.
Yeah, it is.
With that, not with everything else, but with that, you know.
I mean, I know we've talked about it before, but it is a ridiculous situation that we're in. You know, everybody is in. They can't, you know, these energy companies can't get away with this for much longer. You know, they're going to have to bring down the prices, and they're going to have to say to their shareholders, sorry, you ain't getting a shareholder bonus this time round, because people can't afford to heat their houses.
But again, it's down to the government. The government set the parameters.
Paul,
so
I don't care who it's down to. They all need to get together with the government, with the companies, and sort it out, because this is ridiculous. This is the first time in the 20 years we've been in this house that we have been in this situation.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Even in 2009, 2010, it wasn't like this.
You know, we have been able to have our heating on for as long as we want, even sometimes during that hard winter, during the night as well, because we were scared of things, pipes
Freezing.
bursting and stuff. And also able to pay for it, to afford it, because it was reasonable, you know. It is now unreasonable. They need to get together and sort it out. I don't care who does it, just get together and do it. Bring the prices down so we can all afford to heat our homes. You know?
I mean, we're going into a winter of major. If you're not in the UK, you may not know this, but going into a winter of major strikes.
Yeah.
Ambulance workers, nurses, policemen,
Buses.
firemen. You know, a whole host of
postal workers, bus workers.
And it's because people can't afford to live. You know, nurses going to work and then going to food banks to top up, you know, so that they can eat. I mean, that's not acceptable.
No,
it's really not acceptable. And there's too much money being made by too few people. And I really think that it's time. Things need to change. They can't be like they have been for the last 50 years.
And then on top of that, blah blah blah. On top of that, Weight Watchers have changed their point system.
Oh God, they have, yeah.
Weight Watchers have changed their point system. We can no longer eat unlimited rice and pasta.
No, or whole wheat and brown rice. It's discombobulated me. Another thing that's discombobulated me. So last Monday, like almost 2 weeks ago, they changed their system so that they've been saying for years that if you eat brown rice, brown pasta, you know, whole wheat things, that they're really good for you and they actually help you burn calories, they help your digestion, they do all this, they do all that. And now they've changed. So we used to be able to have a portion, not too much, but a portion of brown rice for no points, or whole wheat pasta, and have a sauce with it, you know. Now a portion of pasta is like 6 points. So, and they haven't given you any sort of significantly extra points to balance it out. So it's just making me think that the whole Weight Watchers thing is just a fallacy, really.
Well, why?
Because
We've lost weight.
I know, but they are they just changing everything so that they can sell more cookery books and more, different measuring devices? Because it certainly feels like it. They've been saying for years that this is the way to go to lose weight, and now they're saying that whether you have brown rice or white rice, it makes no difference. And that can't be true. Or if it is, they've been lying for years.
Yeah, okay.
It just annoys me. You can see I'm having one of those weeks. Yeah. Everything is annoying me at the moment. Yes, Richard's annoying me at the moment as well.
Well, I try.
You do, yeah. You're very trying. Yeah.
Anyway, let's get on with the final segment of the show this week, which is what have we watched on television this week, Paul? Well,
it's a bit of the same old, hasn't it?
It is the same old, same old. I mean, I've had a couple of nights where I've fallen asleep.
Yeah.
Surprise, surprise, that's what I do.
I watched, when you fell asleep, I watched another episode of not Murders in the Building, the How to Get Away with Murder, and it was. I thought it was quite interesting. We might go back to that.
Maybe we'll go back to that one. We watched a couple of episodes of Heart to Heart.
Yes, we have.
We picked that up again for our dinner viewing because we've been really naughty. We've been having our dinner on our laps.
But the thing is, if we have a fire in here,
we use it.
Or we have the heating in here. It makes sense. That was a burp. Pardon me. Yeah. And it makes sense to have our meal in here rather than going into a colder room.
It's quite fun.
That's why we've been doing that.
Yeah, sitting at a cold table.
There was one episode of Heart to Heart that was really terrible with the wine.
They're all
with the
pretty
wine.
Terrible.
Yeah, but this one was really bad, and the next one was actually quite good.
We just watched them for fun.
Yeah.
And to see Jennifer's hair.
Yeah.
Her hair is just magnificent.
It's always magnificent, isn't it? And how do they finish every episode virtually at the moment, it seems? Or virtually every episode?
Well,
they're about to have sex.
They're always in bed. They're always in bed, and she always goes, "Oh, Jonathan."
Oh, yeah. So anyway, if they had heating, they'd be in bed, definitely.
So we continue with the Lucy Worsley, Agatha Christie show, which is kind of interesting, but we decided to watch.
No, going back to her, she's just annoying. She is annoying me hugely. She will make a statement about something. So at this point, Agatha was feeling really, depressed about life. Where's the facts to back that up? Is that a statement you are making of your own thought, or is this something that has been backed up?
Well, she's a historian.
That's
what historians do.
But I feel with her that you don't actually... It doesn't feel as though it's from research, from fact. It feels very much as though it's summation.
Calm down, Paul. Oh, that's my bread maker.
That's his
popping
yeast.
The yeast in. Sounds like a gunshot.
So yeah, she's been annoying me as well.
But we decided to watch another Agatha Christie programme hosted by Richard E. Grant.
Who I really like.
And we kind of abandoned it because it became so boring. It was filled with celebrities all giving their scripted opinions on Agatha Christie.
Including Marcus Waring, the chef.
Yeah, and no, forget it.
And also, he was another one. She can't say, Lucy Worsley can't say Poirot, that's fine. But he had two pronunciations, didn't he?
Perot. And Poirot. Very, very odd.
And you think it was because they wanted to sell it to America?
Maybe. He kept alternating the pronunciation, and I know that many of you Americans say Poirot. It's Poirot. Yeah. Like moi. M-O-I in French is moi.
But it's sort of got...
P-O-I is Poirot. There's a W in the pronunciation.
It's
Pois.
an invisible W.
Yeah. There you go. Anyway,
I've shut up now.
we also watched this online moon event.
Oh,
thing,
yes.
didn't
Yes, that we were pointed to on Planet Vegetaria, weren't we?
we? It was. We were very kindly pointed towards it, so we decided to give it a watch. It was interesting, although the presenter was a little odd. I fell asleep.
He fell asleep.
Yeah.
But there was this
It was
amazing...
live from Greenwich, the Greenwich Observatory in London.
And he did talk about it at one point as if Greenwich was sort of like way out of London. It was very odd what he did say at one point. But one thing that we did see was the big mosaic. And this is basically it's an image of the moon. This happens quite regularly. But an image of the moon made up of like 2,500 different images that have been stitched together and mosaic together. And that was quite incredible.
I missed that.
He missed it. I thought that was quite incredible.
Anyway, we continue with Orphan Black.
We do.
And for those of you who've never watched Orphan Black, this is the story of Sarah Manning, who gets sucked into a world of strangeness and
Intrigue
peril
and adventure.
And peril. If you've never seen it, it's an excellent series. Well, there are how many seasons are there?
Five, six?
Something like that. Excellent. The Tatiana, what's her surname? I can't remember.
The main actor.
She's an excellent actress. Really got her work cut out for her in this series.
And you'll find out why
show.
if you watch.
Yeah, it's just great. So we continue with that, and we're loving it.
So that's on More 4 in the UK. It was a UK Canadian co-production. So in the US and Canada, you'd most probably be able to get it somehow.
And we also continue the Ruby Wax series, Trailblazers, that
Yeah.
we've sort of warmed into now. I think we mentioned that the first show took us a little while to get into it. We had to get past a certain point, and then it seemed to really warm up. So we're kind of into it now, and we've sort of warmed to the presenters and the situations that they're in, going through the Rocky Mountains in Colorado. So yeah, we're quite enjoying that now.
Yeah, there was some interesting chemistry going on between people in the Aspen segment, wasn't there? They were in this shop that sells hats and hat bands and boots and leather gear, basically.
High end.
High
Aspen.
end. I mean, just ridiculous prices. I think it was like $7,000 for a hat band or something was, one of them. And it was interesting seeing Mel B.
I never know whether
I
it's
know.
Mel B or
Anyway,
Susan
Scary
or-
Spice. Because it looked as though she felt really uncomfortable with the wealth around her and what was going on. I thought that was really interesting.
Which is a little ironic, considering how wealthy she is.
Well, yes, but I think she's gone. She came from nothing, has had wealth, has lost money, and is sort of back on there again, isn't she? So
I don't know.
it's I mean, we don't really follow celebrities,
No.
Neither of us do. Well, one of our friends absolutely does, but we don't. So we don't know the journeys of these people, but that's what I think her backstory is. But yeah, it was really, really interesting. And then they did big truck driving up a mountain, and that was incredible as well, I thought, wasn't it? Yeah.
Anyway, that's it for this week's Sunday Chat. Just a quick
Sunday Chat!
one. Because we've got stuff that needs to be done around the house today. We've also got to go and pick up some logs.
Yeah.
I've got a coal delivery coming on Monday. My eco coal. Because we've almost finished the 10 bags that I bought.
Was that 2 months ago?
Yeah, something like that. But we need more logs, hardwood logs, and some of those heat logs as well. In fact, I might do a video on those at some point,
Yeah.
because they're quite interesting and they do burn well.
Do they? I mean, if you do one, then I think you should compare the weight of one of those with the weight of a log and see how long each takes to burn, because that would be interesting to know, wouldn't it? Because you'd have the same weight of wood, so it would be interesting to see which lasts longer.
They burn longer than a log.
Do they?
Yeah, they burn for an hour.
Mm.
And they burn well for an hour, whereas logs, you've got to turn them over to get the best of them.
I like that though, because then you get the blazing fire comes up. I love that turning of the log. It seems to be, part of a fire to me.
Well, it's kind of
Absolutely
because
part of fire.
I think fires become almost there's a ritual to putting a fire on. I get in from work. The first thing I do is go out and get the coal. I've still got my coat on, so go out, fill the coal scuttle, come in, clear yesterday's ash out, because you make sure there's good airflow, and then build the fire. And then of course during the burning of the fire, when it gets to a hot point where the coals are all hot and it's getting later into the evening, a log goes on, it bursts into flames. Then the flames die down after about 20 minutes. Turn the log. Alexa, please stop. Turn the log and it bursts into flames again, and it gives you another half hour of nice bright flame.
Mm.
So there's kind of a ritual. And then of course, before going to bed, I sort of, knock the coals back, put the fire guard up, and we go to bed. And I open this door so the residual heat goes into the rest of the house. So there's a ritual attached to all of that.
Mm.
Some would call it another bit of work to do. Anyway,
could I get the coal in for you? Could I do that?
No, I kind of like it. Kind of like doing that.
See, this is the thing. When I say to Richard, shall I do that for you? You will often say, no, because you can't do it, like washing the clothes.
Well, no,
or no, because you like doing it.
Well, no, I like doing it. Plus, sometimes you have to be careful that you're not spilling coal out there, because you can't really see properly.
Well, I could do it during the day.
Well, you could, yeah. Whatever. Surprise me.
I'll put some fireworks in it.
We're going now. Thank you for watching. Take care. Toodle pip, au revoir.
And anything else?
That's it.
Auf Wiedersehen.
Auf Wiedersehen.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.